I got into a stranger's car because I wanted him to be dangerous, and I got exactly what I asked for. You are the biggest mistake I ever made, my mom screamed. My dad just nodded like he agreed. I grabbed my backpack and walked towards the front door while they argued about whose genetics were responsible for how bad I turned out. My dad glanced over. Where are you going? Does it matter? I walked out the front door and nobody followed me. I kept walking until my legs ached and my phone died. All I could think about is how I could disappear and nobody would even care. Then a blue sedan pulled over ahead of me and the guy rolled down his window. Hey, need a ride? As I walked up, I felt in my gut that this was a bad idea. Then I pictured my mom's face when she called me a mistake and opened the door. My name is Jack. Where are you headed? Anywhere but here. He nodded and pulled back onto the highway. Bad night? Bad life. He glanced over at me. That's heavy. How old are you? 14. And you're out here alone? That's dangerous. I shrugged. He asked what I was running from and I told him my parents. They don't appreciate you? Something about how he said it made me feel seen. They don't even like me. He reached over and patted my shoulder. Their loss. You seem like a sweet girl. His hand stayed there a second too long before going back to the wheel. You got a place to stay tonight? Not yet. You thought about what you're gonna do? Not really. He smiled. You're just winging it. I like that. He drove past 2 exits without slowing down. Where are we going anyways? I know a good diner up ahead. You hungry? I was starving, but something made me hesitate. You should probably just drop me off at the next exit. Come on, just a quick meal. You look like you could use a friend right now. He smiled. Unless you're scared of me? It felt like a challenge. I'm not scared. He nodded. Good. I'm one of the good guys. Then he turned onto a dark road with no streetlights. This doesn't look like the way to a diner. Shortcut. Saves about 10 minutes. He drove faster. I reached for the door handle and heard the locks click. What did you lock the doors? Just making sure you don't fall out. These doors are tricky. His voice was still friendly, but it sounded forced. It's interesting that you got in my car. Most girls wouldn't do that. The way he said most girls made my skin crawl. Let me out. We're in the middle of nowhere, sweetheart. Where exactly do you think you're going to go? He stopped the car on an empty dirt road surrounded by dead cornfields and turned to face me. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to be a good girl and do exactly what I tell you. I lunged for the door and he grabbed my wrist hard. Let go. You got in my car all by yourself. You told me nobody cares about you. You practically gift wrapped yourself for me. He reached under his seat with his free hand and pulled out zip ties. You seemed so eager to find danger. Let me give you exactly what you were looking for. I swung my backpack at his face with every ounce of strength I had. It connected with his nose and I heard something crunch. His grip loosened just enough for me to rip my arm free. Then I clawed at his eyes with my fingernails. He screamed and grabbed for my throat. I kicked him in the throat as hard as I could and he made a horrible choking sound. I unlocked the door and threw myself out onto the dirt. I hit the ground hard enough to knock the wind out of me but forced myself up and started running. Behind me I heard his door open. You little bitch! When I catch you, what I was planning is going to feel like mercy. I ran toward the lights in the distance. My chest burned and tears streamed down my face. I could hear his footsteps pounding in the dirt behind me, getting closer. There's nowhere to run. It's just you and me. I could make out a farmhouse in the distance. I glanced back and saw him 15 feet behind me with blood pouring down his face. I found speed I didn't know I had and pushed harder. I crashed into the farmhouse door and pounded with both fists. Help me! Please, someone help! An older woman and her husband opened it and pulled me inside. Through the window, I saw Jack stop at the edge of their property. The old man grabbed a shotgun off the wall and stepped onto the porch. Get off my property before I put a hole in you! Jack backed away slowly, then turned and ran toward his car. The woman called the police while I collapsed shaking, but they never found Jack.